Hey everybody, creating your own custom buildings. You might think it's kind of boring, but actually I find it to be a little bit fun. So I'll start off with a blank page here, and I think I'm going to use a small brush 2 or something like that. And I could make I'm going to make some lines. I could do it two ways. I could either use my line tool, set on the pixels thing, and I can make it like this, by holding down the shift key, that is. Or I think I'm going to just use my brush tool and hold down the shift key and go like that. And make two lines. And this one I'm going to make a little bit thicker though on this side here. So this is going to be the shadow of the line of the buildings. You'll see in a second here. And that is, that's going to be part to help define the form a little bit. So I'm going to create another layer over here. And this time I'm going to go in and make myself a window. So I think I'll just do it by hand because it has a little more character when you do it by hand. I don't want that. Actually, I don't want that. And that I use a bigger brush. I'm going to use a 2 for this. Actually, I'm going to use a 1 for it, as a matter of fact. I think my resolution is like 200 or something on this page. So, okay. All right. It's just a nice rectangle thing. I'm going to put some. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is use this square to make the molding inside too. So you can take a little bit thicker on those two sides. You take your move tool, you hold down Option, and that duplicates it. And then you just use your Shift key, and you hold your Shift button down and move tool, just move it around. Although I don't like that. I think that's too thick looking. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's okay. Getting something I kind of like. I'm going to make another layer just in case I missed the mark on this. And I did. So let's see. I didn't even care those. Let's see. I'm using my move tool, and I'm using my arrow keys on my keyboard. Get it just about right. That looks pretty good. Add a little more shadow to this, darker on this side. Okay, I like that pretty much. So I'm going to take these 3 layers and combine them. Take my window, put my window in here, make it a little bit smaller, give it some edge to it. Okay. I think I need a little more, I don't know. You could add a little more molding if you wanted to. Or maybe a little less line up here. Because I really want to have some light edge effect with my window. Something like that's nice. Okay, so I got my window. And this is kind of the fun part. I kind of get a kick out of it. It's a little trick. You get your move tool and you push on your keyboard Option Command T. Then you move this as you're holding the Shift key down to about where you want it to be. Maybe the window, how far the window do you want it to be apart? Like that. And then you push Enter, or you put this check mark up here, up here at the top. That's the same thing as Enter. Okay, so if you're following along. We'll be doing this a couple times probably, so you'll be able to figure it out. Now you want to take your command, hover over that same layer, and push down the command, and then click that layer just made it, and that'll select this thing. Now it's selected. That'll keep it, when I duplicate it, it'll keep it within this one layer. So now I go back to the keyboard. I push this time, instead of just Option Command T, I'm pushing Shift Option Command, and every time I push T, it'll duplicate it. So T, 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 like that. And I got perfect copies. Let me see, did I go off the page? I'm actually going to go back one, step back one. Okay, so there you have 4 perfectly spaced, or 5 perfectly spaced windows on one layer. I'm going to deselect that and put these, because this first copy is on a different layer. So I want to put those 2 layers together. And I'm actually going to, since I like this, I'm going to put this line layer together too, all this stuff together in a single layer. Okay, here we go again. Move tool, Option Command T. Then I move it where I'd like to go with it, about how far, maybe that far. Release. Push your Enter tool, or this check mark up there. Then Command and select everything on that layer. And then here we go again. This is the fun part. Shift, Option, Command. While you're holding those 3 down, you push the T. T, 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 T. There. That's cool. Deselect that. And now I got myself I want to combine these 2 layers here. Got myself a window front, which is cool. But I want to make it bigger because I want to really use this for some. I'm going to grab the Move tool and bring it and hold it and draw it in. So by the corner. I'm going to copy this layer, and I do that by Command J. Command J copies it, and I'm going to move it down by holding the Shift key again. Get the distance I want exactly. Let's make sure. I'm going to move in a little bit so I can see this. Make sure that's correct. Because I'm going to color it too, so I want to make sure that when I duplicate the colors, it'll be right. Okay, that looks okay, I think. I'm eyeballing it. All right, done. Done deal. Make these 2 layers into 1 layer now. Merge layers. Okay, I got a window front here, or a building here. That's kind of cool, huh? Just a standard, office building type thing. So I'm going to put make another layer. I'm going to do the edges of the building. So I'm going to probably pick a 4 for that. Just standard, just regular brush here. And I can see, I did it on a separate layer, so I can do this. I can just use my arrow keys and get it just right. Looks good. I'm going to move this down. I'm going to draw the top of that building too. That same layer. Maybe I'll give it a little something, I don't know, some kind of interesting edge or something here. Something like that. Let me see. Move in a little bit. Yeah. Something different. Maybe add a little bit of... This is fun. You can just kind of create your own stuff. And the thing is, you can save these buildings and have them on hand for when you want to use them. So let's see, merge these guys together. So I got a good building. Now the neat thing is, okay, so I'm going to duplicate this layer, just show you what you can do now. Now that I have this building, I grab my move tool, I hold down my command button, and I can drag this building into any kind of direction I want. You know, any perspective I want, which is great. I mean, the old days, man, I used to have to plot all these points out and draw it. Now you can do this. It's really quite amazing. So you could have some superhero flying through the city, and you got yourself a nice, perfectly in perspective building. It's very cool. But I want to color this too. Show how I would color it. There's no real easy way that I found for coloring it. So I use the same method that I did for drawing it. Well, first I'll just select the whole area and put a color in there. I'm just going to pick a really light gray color here. Edit, fill it. So you can hardly see that. Maybe I'll make it a little darker just so you can see it for now. Edit, fill it. Okay. Deselect that. It's probably not perfect. I mean, maybe it is perfect, actually. I thought there was an edge there. Okay, cool. I'm going to color the windows, though. So, get rid of this for a second. I'm going to go in on the window, and I am going to put a different shade of color on the window. A darker gray for now. I'm going to fill that. Looks good. Deselect it. Go with my eraser tool. I'm going to get rid of some of the line here. Make sure I got some good highlights. Okay, like I did with the drawing part, I'm going to duplicate this guy with this Command T thing, or Option T, Option Command T. Yeah, I really mess everybody up by getting it wrong. Okay, Move tool. I might have to move in actually for this. Move tool. Option Command T. Move it about while holding down the Shift key so it's in line. Get it just right. Enter it. Then use your command and select that layer so everything's selected on it. I'm going to pull back a little bit so I can see it, which when I've got them all done. And I am going to Shift, Option, Command, T. Looks pretty good. Hopefully that'll look right. Deselect it and let's see how that came down. Pretty good. It looks like it's a little short. So I'm going to get the Move tool and hold on the Shift and extend it just a little bit. Well, yeah, now it's perfect. Okay. Looks like it's good on all the windows. And I want to put these two layers together. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. Option Command T. Move it. Enter, or the check mark. Command, get that guy. Now Shift, Option, Command, T. Okay, it's a tad bit off, you can see. Deselect, and I will just hold down the Shift key as I, with the Move tool, move it over just to get it just right. Okay, so I got some windows. Now you can see it's really coming together. I'm gonna Command U, that brings up my hue and saturation, and just lighten this up a little bit. Now, again, the building is kind of cool. I mean, it's somewhat done, but to make it a little more realistic, I think I'll put some shading on the windows, like reflection. So I'm going to take this layer, which has all the windows on it. First, I got to combine these two here. And I'm going to put a layer above that with a clipping mask. Create clipping mask. Now that's going to clip everything on the below layer, the layer with all the windows on it. And I'm going to pick a dark color and a hard brush because I want a reflective look. And I could do this the same way with that option command stuff, but it just seems like it's quicker just to do this. Just do it by hand. I'm just using my brush, holding down the shift key. I went a little too far. Oops. Wait a minute. Keep missing. Keep missing. Okay, that's better. All right, and I'm going to then go on this side. I can make these a little more perfect, but not. I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes. So, trying to do it faster. I'm going to a little bit smaller brush, and I'm going to get into this line underneath the window sill, whatever the molding kind of line. I mean, I could make a line and just bring it down, but again, I think this is actually just faster, just going by hand. I didn't even think about it. I forgot I should probably have done these on different layers so I can move this around, but 2 different layers, so you have the upside and the downside. But it's done now, so okay. So that's kind of cool. Now the thing is, if that shadow's a little too dark or something, I can come at because I did it with black. I can lock the layer. The up here when your layer's selected, there's a little lock thing right up here. It looks like a little checkerboard thing. You push that, a little lock thing shows up on your layer, and that means everything is locked. That means you can affect everything on the layer. So I can make that lighter. And it doesn't affect anything else but that. So that's kind of cool. So now I can play around with it. I can, maybe if I want to make the windows a little bit lighter up here, if I want to maybe add a little bit of, I can add color to it if I want. Make it a little bit like it's reflecting the sky a little bit, something like that. That's kind of cool. So I got lots of options now with this. So I think I'm going to put all this stuff in one layer, in one group. So I select all the layers, put them in a group, and I'm going to do another building, but more a simple one, a modern one. So start with just a few lines. 2 lines. Whoops, that's in blue. I still have the blue selected. So I want a black line. Okay. Maybe I'll put another little shader one here. Okay, so we got a simple line like that. And I'm going to do another layer, and I'm going to put a line like this, straight across. Okay, now under in between this, add one more layer, and here, I want this to, see that little intersection? I want that to be white. I don't want it to, so I'm going to use a color for the moment so I can see what I'm doing. Make sure I've got it. Okay, just making sure that's nice and that's a white, or that's a colored. Now I'm going to lock that layer and just paint it white. So, okay, so we have, I'm going to take these two layers, this line and the white part underneath it, merge them. So we have, on that layer, we have a black line with a white fill. Back to this, we're going to simply do this movement thing. So I've got the move tool, Option Command T. Move it down about there. It's kind of cool. Enter. Command, click on the layer square. And then Shift, Option Command T. Maybe one more. Okay. So that's cool. Put those two layers together. Wait a minute, I put the wrong ones together. Oops. Wait, where's my history here? Okay, which ones do I want to put together? These two. Okay. Merge those two layers. Now back to this layer. Where we have the line with the white fill. Gonna have that selected. Move tool, Option Command T, and moving it. Not too far though. This is gonna be a modern building, so. Okay, enter. Going to command that select everything. Now, Shift Option Command T. And I'll take that all the way across. So that's cool. And I'm going to combine, deselect it, and combine. Actually, all three of those layers I'm going to combine. No, actually, no. First, I want to get rid of the line work, the outside line on this. So let me see. Move this over a little bit. Yeah. So on this layer, I want to get rid of that extra bit there. So select tool, delete it, and then go over on this side. Make sure I've got everything on this side, delete it too. Get that one layer with the stuff on it, with the horizontal line on it. Delete that. So now I got a cool modern building, which is great. So maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller. Now the neat thing is, because it's modern like this, I can just stretch it out, like that's fine, or pull it in a little bit. I mean, you can do that with the other one too, but this is just going to look kind of cool. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to combine all these. No, actually, I'm not going to combine them all because I want to leave that one white layer, one with the white fill. I want that to be on a different layer for now. Okay, but I can group these. So I'm going to color this real quick. Let's see. I'll give me a square, and I'm going to fill it with something. See, the reason I have that white fill, so I can do that. You can still see it. So it looks kind of like a modern one. Now I'm going to I'm going to put that in that layer in this group here. So we got a group of with this building on it, and a group with this building on it. I think what I'm going to do is put them all in one group. Actually, I'll just move this over here. So I got a modern building and a. I'm going to increase the size of this guy a little bit. And a more old style retro building. I'm going to duplicate these layers. Select them in Command J. Then if I screw it up, I like to save the flat ones, so if I screw up the other ones, it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to take my Move tool, and I'm going to put these in some kind of cool perspective. Let's see. You just push your command and you can grab these and move them around any way you want, like that. Kind of cool, huh? So now I can do a nice cool view, like you're looking up. Looking down and they can have a superhero flying through the city, which I have prepared a superhero flying through the city. First man to be exact. But I'm going to go back here and just play with the colors a little bit now. I can go back here and lock this layer. And this is the new modern building. So it's kind of cool to do a little bit of like a reflective color maybe like this, you know. Shine it up a bit. Something like that. See, it looks kind of cool and modern, shiny. All right, that's kind of cool. And with this one here, I think I'm gonna. It's less of a shiny. I'm gonna actually have to pull the line work out and put it on top of that group because I want the color to be all in one layer. Now once this group with all the color in it, I can add a layer on top and then create a clipping mask over that whole group. And I'm going to take up here and change this to a multiply layer. So that what I can do now is take a blue and or something like that and add some neat shadow, a little bit of lighting to it. See, like that. Maybe I want to warm it up a little bit with a tad bit of like the sun's hitting it a little bit. Something like that. That's kind of cool. Looks kind of somewhat realistic. So see, I got a pretty cool background here. It's not bad at all. And let me see if there's a. I'll grab all these layers. Maybe I'll make this perspective a little more powerfully strong here. Warp it a little more. Yeah, give it a little more drama. Okay, there, that's cool. Now, I can add some superheroes. I've already got them prepared. I got First Man. So which one should I pick? I could pick this one. Have him flying around. Or this one, which I think is pretty cool. Or maybe this one, it's a sort of a version of that first one. So any of them would look cool. Any of them work. I think I like them on this pattern versus this pattern. It gets confusing. But I think I'm going to stick with the this one. I think this one's coolest. So, see, he's flying through your movement. Move to. Okay. One thing you notice though, when you're looking, maybe it's a little bit too like it doesn't look like it's far back in the background very much. What I can do then, I could blur it a little bit. So I could take all this stuff here, or go up this layer right here, the last layer you have. Not the First Man. Make sure it's below First Man, but then do Shift Option Command E, and what that does, it stamps everything that's below it. Now I can go into my filter, and I can wait a minute, not that one. My filters and blur. Pull on the menu, Gaussian blur, and maybe blur it a little bit. Let's see, that's nothing. A little more, a little more. And now it's a little out of focus, so it doesn't look so like he's right next to the building, like these are small buildings. Just give it a little bit of out of focus look. So that's cool. And I could actually add another layer. Maybe I'll pick this blue color here, kind of a haze, and fill that layer with a solid color, with that solid color, and then go to my opacity of this layer up here in the right hand corner, and just lower the opacity so you get a little bit of fog, even more atmosphere to it, so use even more 3D. So that's pretty cool, huh? That's it. That's the fun thing of creating, because you can create, you can do elaborate windows and duplicate them the same way using the Option Command T method, and create and have these in your library. Just save them up, maybe from different angles. So you can have different shadings on the windows and stuff, and know which one you want to use for which image. And you can take these and warp these. Like I could take this window right here, this store or this building front, and turn it around and warp it, have it go the other way, and make the other side of the building if I needed it. So that's one option. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you like this one. I hope you enjoy it. It's great to hear the comments, and I'm keeping these coming. I got some ideas that people have given me a lot of great ideas to things to do, so it's a lot of fun creating these. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.